got a box. So today I got in from Colzer another portable car refrigerator slash freezer. It's 43 quarts, 12 volts. It is -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry for all the metric people, but that's what this rated for. So let's open it on up and see what we've actually got here. Nice styrofoam top. Looks like I got 4 styrofoam side skirts to keep it protected. And good, we got carry handles. Let me just put this box on the ground here and hopefully not hit the tripod in the process. Ta-da! Nice, there we go. That's the initial unit. And on the bottom, we just got another piece of styrofoam, so any cords and everything must be inside the unit itself. Let's get that out of the way. So, not much on the front here. Flip to the right side. We can definitely see the compressor inside there. We have our electric circuit drawing. This basically just shows the wiring inside here. Tells you it runs on 12 or 24 volts. It's rated for a total input power of 45 watts, which is either 3.75 amps at 12 volts or 1.875 amps at 24 volts. It is R134A refrigerant, 35 grams of it, and foam vesicants. Yeah, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, forget that. So, let's keep looking around the back. And, okay, this is not using a traditional style condenser inside of it with the fins and everything else. This is sort of like when I did the review for the Alpicool. It's more like the cooling fins that you find on the back of a chest freezer, like down in your freezer type of deal, which still works perfectly fine. Other side has the handles. They're plastic, they're fixed. And unlike the other 43 quart one I did a review of years ago that had the pull out plastic ones that were kind of flimsy, these are not going anywhere. So you don't get the collapsibility, but for being plastic, these are definitely a ton more sturdy than what I saw. Okay, so if we look at the top, there's 4 really tiny cup holders. They would probably work as long as this thing's perfectly stationary on level ground, but they're so thin. I wouldn't count these as actual cup holders. It's probably just a novelty item. And I can understand why they didn't make it thick, because there should be a ton of insulation in this lid, hopefully. But we come on over to the control panel. It's basically like the Alpicool one that I reviewed. You got your 2 buttons to change values, your settings button, and your on and off. And thankfully for this one, they didn't put a USB port in. Because like I said in the other video, why the heck does a cooler need a USB port? Really? Come on. Everything already has a USB port. A cooler doesn't need it. So, let's look inside. Ooh, nice chain. Let me pull them up here. Okay, that's much better. Now you can see better. Now that I got the contrast better. That is pretty impressive. These hinges are metal. I am surprised. Cool. We got some tape here to hold in this bin. So we have a little user's manual, nice and quick. Everything fell out of the bag. Email info@keepbing.com. Thank you for your choice of Colzer products. Look at that. And looks like we got the wiring here. So, let's see here. Okay, this is definitely your DC connector right here. This is part of an AC connector, and they even give you the AC brick, so this way you can either pre-chill at home or even use it at home. Also got 4 LED lights over here that we will show when we get to that point. You do have a regular shelf here because the compressor's underneath. That's normal for all these units. And this got shoved down a little bit in storage and shipping. There we go. Yeah, see, this is supposed to move around. So you got a little basket off this side. Doesn't have the 2 big baskets like my other cooler does, but this still works perfectly fine. And it cannot go over top the shelf. It is deeper than that. But you do have a little bit of shelf. You can put milk or some other more fragile stuff, so this way it doesn't sit at the bottom of the cooler and get banged around and smushed or whatever. You can put fruits and stuff in there, so that's pretty cool. Let's take that on out. And there's also one other feature here that's actually pretty cool. As you can see, it opens and closes this way. But you can actually unscrew these hinges and this chain right here and move the chain from here to over here, connects down here in the front back here, and these hinges get replaced and go right here and here. And in these 2 spots right here, and you can actually make this go from opening this way to this way. Give me a minute, I'll switch it around and show you. Okay, so I got switched over. So instead of opening from front to back, it now opens this way. Chain goes right here, and both hinges are underneath here. Took me about 5 minutes to switch over. The only thing I've noticed about when I switch it on over, there is a bit of a bounce here, like 1 or 2 millimeters, 1/8 of an inch for us Imperial people. But I don't think it's really putting a gap, but there's a little more strain on the hinges, I guess, and it just doesn't want to come down. Worked better front to back. I'm going to switch mine on over, and then we're going to power it up and see what it actually does. Okay, so I got the top back on forward opening, and for a test here in a few minutes, I have a thermocouple just tied around the basket here so I can get a regular air temperature inside of the unit itself. For right now, how about we give this some power? Okay, so I got my power supply up here. You'll have to bear with me with the sun. It's going to be very hard to see the display. I will get a little closer here in a minute, but I have it set for 14 volts, which would be the equivalent of a regular running car, at 12 amps maximum power, which this thing should never get anywhere near pulling that. But that's just in case. I got cables running on down. See if I can undo. Right down to here. And they're connected to the cigarette lighter adapter right into the side of the unit itself. So let me reposition. We'll get up to the display here and we will turn the unit on. So let's turn the power on to the power supply here. And you see we just powered up. And it is a regular LCD display counting from 9 to 0. It says it's 90 degrees right now. Battery protection is set to low currently, and the compressor speed is set to economy. There we go. There's a better way of looking at it. So now we're down to 12.6 volts because the compressor has kicked on. When you first power it on, there might be a 2 to 3 minute delay just to protect the compressor before it actually starts doing its job. It's not broken, just wait a minute or 2 and it will kick on. But you can see the battery protection is set to low, compressor is set to max, battery is perfectly fine, and interior is set to 90 degrees. We're going to set this all the way down. Looks like it doesn't have the option to just hold it and go. You got to click it every time. We should be able to go down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Yep, that's as far down as it goes. So we're going to set it for -4. This will be the equivalent of a fast cool down. And if we look on the display here, if I can get it to show up, we are pulling about 65 watts at 14 volts because we went into like a high mode. It was pulling 40 watts, so it's up to 65 now, which is about 4.5 amps at 14 volts. Still works perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to time it from 90 degrees inside this unit down to -4. How long does it take for the compressor to get down there? So starting the timer now. Okay, quick update. We are coming up on 30 minutes and inside the unit we are seeing, let's see if I get the screen correctly here. Come on. It's kind of hard to get, there we go, I can start seeing it. This is actually, the screen is a lot easier to read in person than what the camera can actually pick up. There we go. It is currently 22 degrees as what it's saying. Now remember, its thermistor is going to be on the side wall, so you're not going to see it. The hanging one is showing 15 degrees Fahrenheit inside there. So it's actually getting a little cooler than what it thinks it is. And things have tamed down a little bit here. know if you can really see that, but it says 54 watts at 3.8 amps at 14 volts. I really hope you can see that. There we go. Now you can see it. Bingo. So let's let it go a little bit more and see, get all the way down to negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we just hit an hour and a half on doing this nice long cooling, and power wise we are still pulling 47 watts, 3.42 amps. You can see we are now in the shade. The sun is over there. And temperature wise, we are, let's see if I can light up this panel a little bit, make it a little better. Come on. Just hit 0 degrees Fahrenheit down here, and we're at negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit on the thermocouple in there. Now, this thing went really fast from 90 degrees all the way down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Then after that, it really stopped. But at the same time, this unit was originally in the sun. I moved it over here in the shade, and this blacktop was really freaking hot. So I think we hit the thermal load on that. Now it's nice and cool because it's been sitting in the shade here for about 20 minutes or so. And that got us down from 10 down to 0. But the last 4 degrees, it's really having a problem. And the ambient temperature today in the shade is 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not especially hot. It's nice and warm. I think the insulation just can't really handle all the way down to negative 4 degrees for this unit. So for this unit, it works beautifully as a refrigerator. If you want a deep freeze in here, you definitely need to have this in a cool area to begin with, just to help compensate for a little bit less thermal efficiency in the insulation. But I would still say this is a good unit, because 95% of people who are going to buy something like this usually use it as a refrigerator. And for this thing as a refrigerator, perfect. Okay, so let's open it up now that we are sitting still at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It really does not want to cooperate with me today, does it? There you go. And yeah, there's a nice frost line right here, and it is very freaking cold in here. So, I mean, it still works really good. It's just getting to that negative 4. It's having a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I can feel frost and everything, and yeah, it's cold. It'll definitely keep ice cream frozen if that's your chosen poison to put in one of these units. So at the time of recording this video in August 2020, this unit is selling for $329 on Amazon. I will have any and all affiliate links down in the description below. Thumbs up, please, if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Any comments, go ahead and leave them down below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.